know the cast has gone too long. But here we are now in game number 2 of the losers match. Spawning in the top left position of the map, that is Akilon Wastes. We have our blue Protoss player coming in for Roxas. It is Titan. Could not quite make it happen with his gateway timing. And spawning in the bottom right position as the yellow Zerg player. Coming in for Mouse Sports, it is VortiX with a very kinky Mutalisk play that allowed him to just, well, pretty much slam Titan. I think one of the big things that really affected the last game in a negative manner for Titan was he opened up with so few sentries. It was absurd. You know, he simply didn't have any force fields to actually fight the Zerg army with. The Hydras just chewed everything up. We saw when he pushed towards the left side, the Zealots all evaporated because the Hydralisks just kited with the speed upgrade on creep. It was pretty much impossible to actually get away from there. So is it really hard to pronounce Roxas? Roxas or Roxkiss? I don't know. If you're like telling me that I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, one day I could perhaps fix it. Anyway, pool for VortiX, and this is not unusual. This is actually one of the, Titan has been coming in with this fast probe. I think what Titan has decided after this matches with Cats is I really want to scout Zerg players now. It's almost like an anti-4GG, where 4GG is like, I just don't care what you're doing. Titan is like, I'm going to make damn sure I know everything that you are up to before I give you an opportunity to really do anything against me. So now, Nexus first. Not surprising. There's the Forge for Titan. And he still has his probe here. He's just trying to be annoying as possible. And I'm just going to go over this really quickly again in case you guys weren't aware of some of the other players. So if you want to know who's been eliminated, earlier in the broadcast, I went through the players that actually ended up making it out. I guess I'll go over those guys too. The players that have currently advanced into the playoffs for Russian Starleague. This is one of the reasons why you guys should be tuning in to our playoffs. We had Straylock advancing with Supernova from Group A. Group B, we had Liquid Ret and IG Jim, the Chinese Protoss, Jim Credible. From Group C, we had Startail Life and Liquid Hero. So you guys should definitely know who both of those guys are. Hero, I'm really excited to see Life, actually, personally. Group D, we just had Scarlet and Symbol yesterday into the playoffs. And as for players that weren't quite so fortunate, we had players that were eliminated. I'll just run through a quick list. Sort of, Mana, the STC, White Raw, Lowly, QXC, Polt, and Maxed. And I think that's a very interesting bit of information to look at. These Zerglings are doing a bit of poking, but this isn't really anything crazy. He's just applying some pressure, doing what he can here. At the same time, VortiX, fast third base, very standard Zerg versus Protoss opening when you scout that your opponent has Nexus firsted. But these probes, I like that he's still chronoing them out. He's keeping them away here, but you really don't want to fight with probes versus Lings. VortiX is just like, yeah, I'm content. And he's going to try to get on these. Now, the first Zealot is out. That will be enough to allow these probes to kind of do their thing. And a Sentry from Titan, which I do like. I like seeing Sentries from Titan since the lack of force fields really hurt him in the previous map. Now, as far as anything else goes, while these rocks do begin to get worked away at, we saw, I actually want to look at the result from Polt's game. Yesterday's matches that were played out, Polt lost 0-2 to Scarlet and to Maxed, which is very interesting. Maxed, of course, is another one of our Chinese players, but, oh, no, never mind, I misread it. Polt 2-0'd Maxed. Who else beat Polt? Symbol. Okay, Symbol and Scarlet beat Polt, so that's kind of crazy. Polt's PvZ was actually very strong in the beginning of part of the Swarm. I'm quite surprised that he lost 2 series and was eliminated by Zerg players. That's actually kind of crazy to think about, actually. VortiX continuing to drone up. He has 2 extractors in his natural expansion. Totally fine. And what a lot of Zerg players like to do is just go straight for that lair, and then you get your Roach Warren, and there's the Roach Warren, just waiting for his lair. You get basically you get the Roach Warren, you get your lair, and an evolution chamber all at the same time. Now he can choose to delay either of them to go for something else, but there's the lair, double extractor in the main base to get additional gas geysers, and I feel we should see at least an evolution chamber from VortiX very soon. And he also has his Overlord scouting everything. So Titan is adding on 3 gates, very standard. He's chronoing out this +1 attack, though. With the pylon that he's building on the right side of the map, we could see some serious pressure. Titan's not going for that same style of Stargate play that we did see. And now, the Overlords see that? Yeah, VortiX saw that Overlord. There's a Forge and Twilight Council just placed. This build actually strongly reminds me of the style that we saw from Protoss player Stardust in recent DreamHack summer 2013, where he went for a quick +2. He basically went for a 2-1 timing with a lot of gateway units off of 3 bases. This was like his ideal movement. He would move out around 12 minutes with a crap ton of sentries. Now this isn't exactly like that because this 3rd base does feel a little bit earlier than normal, but I'm very curious to see if he goes for that style. I mean, it could definitely happen. He hasn't really started using this Forge yet or this Twilight Council. It could still be something weird like +2 blink. And there the +2 attack starts. He's going to throw in a Robo Facility. Is he going to get... is he going to get charged? Is he going to get blink? I'm very interested. Now, we do have a big Zealot attack towards the right side. That pylon in the top right was used to great effect. And this is what Titan's been so good at, doing these very quick Zealot run-bys that are not scouted. The Zerglings come in for VortiX, but they do not have the +1 Carapace yet, which means the Zealots are going to start 2-shotting them. The Zerglings will get a really good surround on the Zealots. More of them being warped in, though. The drones have to be pulled to fight. Keep in mind, guys, we did have a situation here where Titan did a significant amount of damage to the drone line with the Zealot run-bys, but behind it was not able to macro up enough to end up winning the first game against VortiX. So he is... The big difference here is that he has the 3rd base behind this. The Zealots get in. He's actually going to kill off a lot of these roaches, trying to get in top of the drones, but so far he killed 9 drones. He forced out a lot of units to be built, and this is about as much as he can ask for. +1 Protoss shields from What? That's not normal. Huh. He's going for +2 attack and +1 shields. Very interesting. There's no Stargate on the field. Typically speaking, if you're going to go for shields as Protoss, the only things that shields actually help are going to be buildings and Archons. Buildings, Archons, and Stargate units. And I only say Stargate units because it's a bit cheaper. It gives you the +1 on the shields for all units, which is a bit cheaper than investing into the flyer armor. Now, the Phoenix doesn't get in. It sees the Infestation Pit, and we're actually getting Pathogen Glands out of VortiX. Not going to be Enduring Locust. There won't be any Swarm Host play. And this is interesting because we do have Colossus actually on the way for Titan. Does VortiX know about this robotics? Yeah, VortiX knows about the robotics bay, and he's going for Lingen, like this Roach Ling Infester. Colossus-based compositions stomp the crap out of this. And the Spire is going to begin now, but depending on when or if Titan decides to make a big 3-base push, he could actually stomp all over this with about 2 Colossi. The question is, will he have them in time? Because by the time the second Colossus is coming out, the Spire will be done. We could see Mutas coming out for VortiX. We could see Corruptors. Gravitic Drive. Oh my goodness. This is weird. Does he have thermal... He doesn't have extended thermal lance. No. That's interesting. So... what it looks like Titan wants to do is go for a lot of harass with the Warp Prism before he actually gets into the Colossus-based play. And there the Warp Prism is on the bottom side of the map. Oh, is this Overlord going to see it? VortiX. Oh. Oh my god, he doesn't see the Warp Prism. This could be devastating. What the... oh my goodness. This could be really, really damaging if he... depending on where he goes with this. The main or the natural. He could actually pick off the Spire with the Zealots if he targets them down, but he's preoccupied with this Overseer. Oh, Titan. Titan, you have your chance. This is it. VortiX is going for Broodlord Infestor, it seems, as his unit composition. Why? There's no Stargate for Titan, which means switching into Tempest is actually going to be a big pain in the ass, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to go for this setup. Now, Titan's still not moving with that Warp Prism yet. He's being too indecisive, I feel. He wants to go for the big push and the drop at the same time, but if these Corruptors find it, this could be difficult. The only thing that's really lucky for Titan is there's no more Overlords. He got past the one guard at the tower. But now Adrenal Glands 2-2. The Greater Spire is on the way. The Zealots are in the main base. If he sees the Spire and kills it, that will be huge. Here come the Zealots. He sees this Hive. Will he go for the Greater Spire? Titan. Oh, the drones are being pulled to try to fight against this. I don't think these drones are going to do terribly well versus the Zealots, but it will buy time for the Zerglings. Oh, that Greater Spire. Oh, what's Titan going to do? He lost the Warp Prism. Here comes the big attack. There's actually not that much anti-air here. These Corruptors, he's going to kill off these Colossi, no problem. There's not that many Stalkers for this army. This is going to be rough. I mean, Warp's at another big wave of them, but this is interesting. He has the Mothership Core. He can actually recall at any time. And he's going to take this. Oh, he didn't lose the Warp Prism. I didn't even. Oh, man. These things are fast. He's going to jump into the main base again. And he needs to go for that Greater Spire. That should be #1 priority. That should be. Yeah, there he goes. Now he's getting these Zealots in. And the 3 of them are actually locked down behind this mineral line. Big engagement here. The Corruptors are going to be able to take out all those Colossi. Like I said, there's no Archons to really get the big splash on these. The Roach is doing some damage, throwing down some force fields, but Titan will lose a lot. And is he going to get this Greater Spire, though? That's the question. Now he has the Surround on it with the +3 attack. He should be able to pick it off. But, oh, the Broodlords begin first. Oh, 7 of them. Ouch. That is not fun. The Zealots should see that. That is disheartening play right here. That is going to suck for Titan. These Broodlords, he is starting double Stargate right now, but is that going to be enough? Will that be in time is a very important question that remains to be seen. We also don't have Storm yet, so these Templar can only be used as Archons right now. Zealot run by towards the top right. Titan's doing everything that he can, but he's at a significant supply deficit. His 4th Nexus is just completed. He does have another Warp Prism coming out, so he will be able to go for the continued Harass, which I really like to see out of him. It's actually pretty awesome play, this much Harass out of a Protoss player with these Warp Prisms. But this is the moment of truth now. We have the Infestors coming up. The Broodlords are on their way as well. And these Stargates are done. The Void Rays that are being produced, will they be done in time? He's actually blocked these Archons. They cannot enter the main base because of the way that this wall is set up. And these probes, oh, that is not... Sorry, I didn't have any words for that. That just kind of hurt. He breaks on the pine line. He's trying to save these Archons, throws the force field down. He will live to die another day, but this Warp Prism heading into the main, there's not really anything here to kill. He just wants the Zealots to start going after the tech buildings, such as the Spawning Pool, this Infestation Pit, and the Roach Warren. If he gets the Roach Warren, that's actually big. Now, this 3rd base will fall. His 4th base will fall. There's no defending this. But the Broodlords, this is where he forces an engagement. He says... Yeah, buddy, we're gonna dance. That's it, right now, you and me. There's no running away anymore. If you either have enough to put out, or you're gonna have to just die. And once this wall falls down, the Broodlord's role becomes slightly less important. Photon Overcharge is being used to kill off Broodlings. That is not how this ability was intended to be used. But at the same time, these Zealots for Titan are really doing a number on VortiX's base. He's gotten and prevented that main hatch from being rebuilt. Huge, massive Zealot warp-ins being brought into the natural, and these are, +3 attack charge lots. He's got the +2 shields, but the Broodlords and Roaches are pushing in now towards the natural. There's so much here. I don't think Titan has enough. VortiX just has so many units. The Void Rays are doing everything that they can, but if these infested Terrans pick them off, that will be it. Still 4 Void Rays. Actually, the anti-air is quite limited right now. I think all the Corruptors are dead. Where are the Corruptors? Yeah, that's it. Titan might actually hold on here. This is incredibly important. I wish I had a voice. This is an incredible moment happening right now. So much counter damage being done by Titan, while VortiX can't actually attack him because he's got 4 Void Rays for prismatic alignment. There's no Spire. He cannot build more Corruptors. He's going to try to get more Infestors, but those kind of suck versus Void Rays. And, I mean, at this point, he would want a bunch of Queens, but I guess he still has a Spawning Pool. But these Zealots, yeah, he's going to tag that onto the lair. He's in the 3rd base now, and VortiX, he can't actually afford to do anything at all. He has no economy. What on earth? Is Titan going to be able to pull this game back? I think so. There's no anti-air. It's just... Well, there's now a lot of energy on some of these Infestors, but the Void Rays, there's so many of them. Infested Terrans are the way to go, and he's just going to get right on top of these Broodlords. killing so many of them. The Infested Terrans are out. The Colossus, if the Colossi target down the Infested Terrans, the Void Rays will be fine, but one Void Ray falls. The second one will die. Third one will die. Fourth Void Ray down. Will he get the fifth and sixth one? This is so critical. He cannot afford to lose him. One last Void Ray fungled, and there we go. VortiX may have done it. He had no anti-air, but the Infestors barely able to pull that off. I don't think... He's got another Void Ray, but the Infestors, oh, they're building up that energy again. He needs to kill these Broodlords. The problem is now he's lost everything else. He's lost the Colossi. I don't think he can kill these Roaches. This is so rough. The Zealots are getting in here. There's another Roach Warren already on the field. The Zerglings doing what they can, but there's not enough Zealots to actually fight this off. More Infested Terrans will be dropped, and the Broodlords are going to kill off the last mining base of Titan. I think VortiX might be able to clean sweep here with a 2-0. And he is just going to press in. That Nexus will fall. And the Zealot's going in towards the top right base. He's doing everything humanly possible, but I just don't think there's enough left for Titan. Losing everything to those Infested Terrans really cost him this game, I feel. The Void Rays, he had enough to chew through basically everything. 6 Void Rays is going to just direct face versus armored units, but now it's 46 to 97 supply. This top right base is almost stable. The Roach will be able to pick off the last remaining Zealot there. And that's about it. There's not a lot of drones for VortiX. Let's look at the total units tab. We have 28 drones versus 10 probes. He's going to chase down these Broodlords, which is nice, but this is it. Titan needs to win the game right here. If he does not kill this army and then some, this game will end in favor of VortiX. He has a better army, I feel, as far as composition goes, but numbers is where things get really, really tricky because he does have the transfuses on some of these Roaches. And, well, here we go. There's actually so many Roaches. The Queens, oh, fungling everything. The Colossus falls. There's just a couple of these Void Rays. Keep in mind, Prismatic Alignment does not do anything versus the Queens. And he's going to go after the Infestors, but these 3 Queens are going to be enough to shove this away. I don't think there's any much else he can do. He's got 2 Archons loaded in a Warp Prism. Man, that is actually something you almost never see. That's quite awkward. I feel uncomfortable. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. He's just got 2 balls loaded up there. I guess you gotta keep your balls safe. But now he has the Void Rays moving in towards this. I don't even know you can call this anymore. He's long distance mining with his 10 probes, and now the Zerglings are coming in, trying to get to work on this economy. The Archons are trying to get into a good spot, but he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time. There's too much being mined by the Zerg. VortiX is just gonna keep building Infestors, and they're gonna be cost effective despite the low economy. And Titan, this is it. He's got 3 Archons. He's got the 2 Void Rays. He needs to win the game right now. And it was too much. What can he do? I actually don't know what Titan could possibly do. He's just hanging in here. He doesn't want to be eliminated from the Russian Starleague, of course. But we could end up seeing VortiX versus Cats as our final match. And he is continuing to press forward here. He does have a reasonable number of Infestors. I don't know. This is VortiX. He's definitely ahead, but he doesn't want to engage into this because of Prismatic Alignment. Because there's Archons. This is a ridiculously powerful army from Titan. Don't get me wrong, but I think it just comes down to a numbers game now. There's 5 Queens, and that's going to be enough to actually hold off these Void Rays with the Infestor support. Here we go, Titan. Going for it, and he's going to Prismatic Align those Void Rays, and that's just not enough. GG. VortiX taking it all. Nice play. That was totally the first game of that series or something, wasn't it? Now I feel weird. I don't remember. I'm tired. God damn. GG. 2-0. Nice play from VortiX. Nice play from VortiX. So, guys, our final match is going to be VortiX versus Cats to see who will advance into the Russian Starleague playoffs. This is going to be... This is it, man. This is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a weird ZVZ.